fighters. With nothing to balance out someone like Muhammad Ali online, those fights don't have the variety they should. Your best bet is to play with friends or hope to find an opponent that wants to use more evenly matched fighters. Otherwise, you'll end up frustrated facing the great.
What is good, YouTube? It's your Reese best video. So today's video, we're basically breaking down what was the best boxing game of all time between highly regarded as the top 3 boxing games of all time. Fight Night Round 4, Fight Night Champion, and Undisputed that came out 2 years ago. Before we get into the video, let's have a word from today's sponsor, W. So basically, W is a company kind of like G Fuel. It's basically like coffee, just without all the bad stuff that, you know, adds the drowsiness and stuff like that. I really like W. I use it every day when I'm editing, recording, if I'm going for a walk, even if I just want to drink. It can be a little addictive, and they have multiple flavors from peach to beach. If you guys love it, want to give it a try, use code GAMERREACH for 10% off your order. And let's get back to the video. So we're starting off with Fight Night Round 4. At the time, Fight Night Round 4 was regarded as the best boxing game, better than Fight Night Round 3. It was just a lot. Fight Night Round 4 came out June 23rd, 2009, and kind of set the foundation for boxing in general as a household name in gaming, really. Graphically wise, from adding Mike Tyson to other players, etc., it was really good. The fluency of the game was smooth. It was a lot more fast paced to Fight Night Round 3. Plus, it added new aspects of the new replay system where like you could constantly flick it and switch every now and then. The punches felt more better. The micro mode was a lot more detailed now. Now I gave you full control over it. And so like that. It did have like a couple glitches where like if you would get hit, even though you blocked it, would still count as a touch or a hit, which I really didn't like. I didn't respect, but it was a lot. It also gave us new character, like new aesthetic, basically to like how the whole legacy mode. There you go. How the whole legacy mode of Fight Night in general came to be. Fight Night Round 4 is so much good and great in terms of fluency. I just feel like it can be stagnant at sometimes when it comes to the boxing, just because almost every time you play this game, you're going to find like a glitchy move or a person who's just very sluggish and slow. It was really good. I like how Fight Night Round 4 gave us more old school rosters too, so give us the aesthetic to, you know, recreate our favorite fighters growing up. I never really, you know, watched boxing growing up because I wasn't old enough, but like my dad had favorite boxers like Roy Jones Jr., Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. I like how they was able to add all that into this game and really give this game a standout look of how it is. And I also like the wound up, like when you knock someone down. It was really good to have you just hoping and stuttering and fumbling. That was really good. I would really consider Fight Night at the time an 8. Give this game an 8. It does so much well-rounded and great gameplay in general that it was really fun to come back and play with your fans. And I also like how it gave you detail of every like hits and who was winning and the scoreboard, stuff like that. That was really good. And the stamina on here was a lot better than games to come after it. So I have to get Fight Night now. Now I'm on to Fight Night Champion, which at the time was highly regarded as the best boxing game of all time. Still to this day, some people say it still is the best boxing game of all time. In my opinion, I still believe it's the best boxing game of all time. Just because graphically wise, Fight Night Champion was really beyond its time. Like even now when it came out in the Series S and, you know, Xbox and PS4 and stuff like that, it was really great and detailed. Overall, I also like the aesthetic of it with like the flashing lights and everything. The colors popped, is very vibrant. I also like the story mode. Like you play as Andre Bishop and you start from like a jail cell, and then you fight your way to becoming the top boxer in the world. That was really good and gave us the aesthetic of by any means necessary against all odds type of vibe, which is really good. Also, I like the career mode of it. It gives you more to control, and also not just that, it gave you a reason to really play the game, really, and let you control how you play it. The boxing on here was really good and fluent. Only thing I didn't like about Fight Night Champion was the blocking. The blocking was really like, I want to say OP, but it was annoying because it's like you can land punches, but if a bro know how to block really good, I know you're like, oh, that comes to boxing, but it was just OP boxing, man. I also like how they added extra mission mode so you and your friends could play without really, you know, attacking each other record or damaging each other low. I said damage each other, attacking each other's ego, basically. It's really good, well put together. and everything going to just pop. Like, it was such a beautiful game. It was fluent. Everything around here was just perfect. And the balance of legendary fighters versus current day, the roster was a little bit still delayed because at the time, it wasn't really the big names it is now. But it does so many well, like from Manny Pacquiao to Mike Tyson came back, Muhammad Ali. Fight Night Champion was probably by far one of the best games of all time, not just a boxing game. As a boxing game, Fight Night Champion was the best of all time, still to today. But I also like how they added more arenas, more boards, more coaches, more players. More creations, and also you could play online with this. And I also like how you could download other players' creations. So like a person created, let's say, Goku, you can download it and stuff like that. It was really good. And then the knockout system, like when a person get knocked down Fight Night Champion, oh yeah, you feel it. You feel it. Wasn't nothing that could really stop it. You just felt it. It was really good. I also like just how fluent and sparkling the moving was. Like, you could really control how much your player really was in your control. So like, if you get knocked out, you got knocked out because you. But it was just so much. This game was really good. I like how they added like more play, like Vander Holyfield, just name a few. Fight Night Champion was such a great game, beautiful wise and aesthetic wise. By far, still to today the best boxing game of all time. So if I had to lead a rating of what I think of Fight Night Champion, it would be 9. So far, it's better than Fight Night Round 4. Fight Night Round 4 was a really good game. Graphically, it was great, but Fight Night Champion took everything from Fight Night Round 4 and made it great, made it the best. Now we're on to Undisputed. Undisputed has so much hype. From when it was first on the PC as a beta, it was regarded as the Fight Night killer, Fight Night Champion killer, the next great boxing game. It was just so much with this game, but once the game actually released on console, everyone was let down. Everyone was let down. Just because they took out a lot of stuff from the PC, the beta, and kind of just removed it. Then the roster, let's start there. The roster was really disappointing. For a game that came out in 2023, January 31st, no Gervonta Davis. It had Ryan Garcia, no Devin Haney. It had like majority of the big name fighters was not in this game. You had your top names like Canelo and Terrence Crawford, but it didn't have the big name fighters. Like a boxing game that came out in 2023 did not have Gervonta Davis. That was the stupidest thing ever, and I feel like that was just something that just couldn't get over. The characterization on Fight Night Undisputed was the best by far in the history of Fight Night in general and boxing in general. It gave you more of a aesthetic like wrestling. Like if you ever played WWE, especially WWE 2K25, you can control way more than you could before. From wacky hairdos to tattoos, everything. It was a really good game in terms of, customization. But not only this actually lets you customize more. I think they focus more on the customization than the actual gameplay. Because once you actually sit back and play the game, you realize how unbalanced and well not put together this game is. Let's get straight to the story mode. The career mode was really good just because this was more advanced and variety. Just because this one gave you more options to do more than just play the game and go through a single career, 1,000 days, whatever you play. But it was more customization, more true to life, kind of like you can switch in and out your coaches, switch out your team. The more you get into your career, the more you post on social media to amp up the fight. On paper, Undisputed was a great game. On paper, how you feel like basically, I might hate to say this, but like my Golden State Warriors 73-9, on paper they were the best team in that season. Yeah, LeBron just somehow came back 3-1. It was just so much with this game that could have been great if they just left it alone. If they left it how they did on the PC version and just brought it to the console like that, it was really good. I just feel like they took too much out to really advance and play. The online was a really big issue with Undisputed just because it was so delayed and servers bad and the input. Basically everything, maybe it's just me, but I have a gaming monitor, so when I used to play I understand it. Maybe it's just me, but the lays and the punches did not feel like they was going through. Everything felt like it was just like a tad second too late. And then the knockouts, it was so easy now. And then the way to get up was so complicated this year. I never understood why they go that route. It was just so stupid. But I didn't really like that about Undisputed. I already said the roster is really well trash. But the game modes, it didn't really give us, it took out a lot of game modes from Fight Night Champion. Just because Fight Night Champion had Legacy mode, Relive mode, it was just a lot. Undisputed didn't really focus on that. Like, it had the name, it had the platform, but it didn't follow through. And that's something I didn't really like or respect about a boxing game that we was so high on coming into it. It's like that one girl you have a crush on and stuff like that. That's a story for another day. But yeah, it was just so much with this game that you wish you could have, put out there and understand it more. But they didn't care. They made their money. I just feel like Undisputed just wasn't there all the way. I just feel like if they would have took their time and left everything alone, this would be a great game. Everything just felt slow. Like, I like how they added new rosters like Jake Paul and stuff like that as DLC, but it's a little too late for that. You should have added more rosters. When are we gonna get a Tank? Like, when is Tank gonna be put in the game? I don't think he'll ever be put in this game. But everything just felt slow paced compared to Fight Night Champion and Fight Night Round 4. Fight Night Round 4 by far had the best in terms of like gameplay. Graphically, Fight Night Champion was the best in general, just because of the shine and detail. But for a PS5 and Xbox One game, the graphics on this game was horrible. It felt like you was playing on a PS4. Like, how we go backwards and not forward? That was the dumbest stuff I ever seen. Dumbest stuff I ever seen. And then it's just everything. And they took out blood now, so you couldn't really see blood. Like, you see blood, but it wasn't as detailed as Fight Night Champion. Like, you see blood all over the court, over the ring, everything. This doesn't. It's like they just didn't even care to even put any effort into this game. Besides just the customization. Really, that's where it went. All their money and investment went to the customization, which I didn't like, I didn't respect. Undisputed was such a highly rated game, but it fell so short of what it was expected to be. I have to give this game rating. Give it an 8. I give it 7.9. Just because I give the edge to Fight Night Round 4 over this, just because it was just too complicated with everything. The system, the roster, everything about this game was just horrible. I didn't really like it. Everything just felt weird and wonky. I feel like it was just out of place and rushed. So yeah. So far I have to give the top boxing game of all time still to this day is Fight Night Champion with a 9. Literally, I don't think how can you top that game. Second, I have to give it to Fight Night Round 4. Fight Night Round 4 was really good. Really good. Undisputed by far is the worst of the series. Undisputed is the worst boxing game of the series. I just feel like they didn't care about this game enough. Like, if you ever go back and play EA Sports UFC, if you go before to now, it's so horrible. It's like a whole 360. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Don't like, comment, subscribe. We lit. Love y'all. Thanks for all the support. Let's get it.